Are you trying to make me look bad by not inviting me? You could have at least invited me to come and see your fiancé before the both of you get married, right? Huh? I heard about what's going on with you through the grapevine, Paige. You're not planning on getting married, right? And just recently you had the family get together to see him with you, right? Yet you decided to be a complete jerk after not inviting your own little sister to see him. I never thought about you as such a cold person, okay? Until today. Why are you coming to me with all of this right now? First of all, what makes you think I'd invite my sister after she cut ties to me? Are you still going on about how you and I don't talk anymore? It was only you that chose to cut ties with me, and have since then always ignored me in every way. Are you actually going to be this upset with me taking your ex-boyfriend from you, to the point you have to act like a baby the rest of your life about it? Huh? What did you say? I wasn't doing anything wrong by taking him away. I just wanted to have a little fun, and he was the fun I was willing to take from my own sister. I get that you want to be upset about that still, but how about you blame your crappy ex-boyfriend for that one? I was just caught in his crossfire is all. He was already looking for a new woman, and I was right there at the time. So be mad at him, all right? What is wrong with you and this idea that you can just get away with something like that? I am aware that he is stupid for what he's done, and I'm pissed about that, but you don't just get a free pass for something like that. Hearing from you yourself now that you stole him from me all for a little fun just disgusts me now. I think it's only fair that I asked you to stay the hell away from me. What? And it wasn't just that you stole him from me, but you got pregnant from him as well. I was at the point in my relationship with him that I really wanted to marry him. Yet when you should have been coming to me with a massive apology, you started talking about how we should celebrate you having his baby. Do you have any idea how badly you hurt me back then by acting like that? What are you going on about? It's making me laugh. Did I really say something like that? It may have been years ago now, but no matter how many years it's been, I am never forgiving you for that. I don't ever want to see your face again, and after today, I don't plan on ever talking to you again, and I mean it this time. Then, does this mean that you're not going to even invite me to your wedding? Not even inviting your own little sister to your wedding? Are you really sure you want to do that to me? I've already explained what kind of monster you are to my man and his parents. And they are all very happy with my decision to leave you out of my life. So you are never going to be meeting with him. Now, since you should understand that, don't ever talk to me again.
Hey, Paige, the two of us, I think it's time we both started working on being a thing again. Now that I've had a little time to think on it, you and I should be getting married.
Huh? What is going on with me having to talk to both of you in one day now? I just had to talk with Alyssa, and now you?
What? You spoke with Elise a little bit ago.
Yeah, just a little bit ago. She told me she never heard about my wedding and that she was upset with me not inviting her to see my fiancé. What makes her think she can say things like that when we cut ties long ago?
What? Hold on a second. Paige, do you have plans to get married to another man now? You have a man like me around, yet you plan to marry another man?
Excuse me?
There's no way that's allowed to happen. You are going to get back together with me. You should be happy that you got this text from me saying I want to get back together with you. Paige, you should be getting married to me.
Shut the hell up, Kurt. Who do you think wants to get back together with you right now? And by the way, don't you already have a kid with Alyssa? Don't frickin' ask me to get back together with you when you have a new responsibility now.
Now listen to me, Paige. To be honest with you, her and I don't actually have a kid. All of that was a lie to get you to let me have her at that time.
Huh?
That chick was trying to take advantage of me. She made that lie up to make me responsible for her, and that was her plan of getting you to leave me. And that changed my mind and made me want to marry her. But right after her and I married, she told me the baby was never a thing.
Is that so?
But I never thought she would actually lie to me, and I believed that she really would have my baby. I only really wanted to be with her all this time because of that baby, but when I really did learn that it was a farce, I asked to divorce her. My parents both told me that if I didn't stay with her and take care of her until the end, that they'd be cutting ties with me. But I don't want to be with her anymore.
So it's not just that she lost the baby. In reality, she was never carrying a baby to begin with?
Yeah, that's right. And once I found all of that out, it was over for her. I learned that she hated always being in second place to you. And that's why she wanted to steal one of your boyfriends from you. So she made that lie up in order to break us apart and get me to go after her.
And so she made up a lie saying that she was carrying your baby? What tenacity.
When I asked her about why she did all of that to you and I, she just started to laugh. You found out, huh? That's all she had to say about it.
That girl is really something.
It was the worst for me. She acted like I was just some game for her to play. If it hadn't been for that lie, you and I would have never had to break up back then. So hey, Paige, let's you and I get back together. The only person I've ever loved had only been you, okay?
You really think I'm going to believe such crap like that? Even if she didn't lie about carrying your baby, you and I would have been finished.
What?
I can totally sympathize with the fact that she lied to you to get you to play along with her. But you have no right trying to make yourself out as the victim in all of this. Whether it was true that she had your baby or not, you still cheated on me with her. I don't care if it happened to be a one-night thing between you two, or if it had been going on for a while. The truth is that you slept with her, and that's enough to get me to leave you.
I can see that, but the woman I truly love is only you, Paige. Please, let's you and I get back together. If you don't, my life is going to be over with. If I can't fix things with you, I won't have anywhere to go, and I won't ever be able to get that company.
Huh? Company?
When I found out that it really was all a lie, I divorced her and got away. And from there I went back to my parents' place, but they told me they had had enough of me. I tried so hard to explain the situation to them, but they wouldn't forgive me for what had happened. And that's when they told me that they would never let me run their company either in the future.
Now that you mention it, you're the son of a CEO, right?
It's not that huge of a company though, okay? But at this point, I won't have anything left for me. The only way to get my life back is to get back into my family. I've been going back to their house night after night, now crying and begging for them to forgive me. And to my surprise, it seems they started to lighten up to me a bit. They came to the door just the other day and told me that I needed to get married.
Married?
They said that if I wanted their forgiveness, I needed to find another woman to get married again. They then stated that depending on who the woman was that I married, they'd rethink things about me. They want for me to have a wife and house again, and said that if I can make that happen, they'll rethink letting me have their company.
I see. And that's your reason for wanting me to get back together with you? You want me only as a tool to help you get back on your parents' good side so that you can get their company?
Now, you don't have to say it like that, okay? If I'm able to become the next owner of that company, I'll be able to treat you to a lot of things. You won't even have to work or anything like that. I just want you to be by my side, and that's all I ask. I want to make things up to you for having cheated on you way back then.
Well, thank you for that offer. But please, go out and find yourself another woman who might respect you a little bit more.
What?
Find a woman that will take good care of you and stay by your side as you treat them with all your parents' company's money. I'm sure there will be a lot of women that would love to marry you if you started to tell them they'd never have to work again.
I've already tried that, but nobody's bitten. It appears that most people in the city around our age already know about how I ended up going for my ex's younger sister in mid-relationship. I've tried so hard to get women to just listen to my side of the story, but they won't have it. So please, you're the only woman left for me. Please, get married to me, Paige.
No, thank you, Kurt. If you're not able to find any woman in this city willing to marry you, then go try searching in another city far away from here. Or what about this? Why don't you just remarry my lying little sister and rekindle what love you had for her before?
I can't.
I'm going to go now. Hey, Alyssa? What the hell is this? Were you able to get the wedding invitation? When I heard that you'd be getting married, I just knew I had to get up and do something myself. I'm inviting you to my wedding, so make sure you RSVP and come. I'm not talking about your wedding, but about the man you plan on marrying. The man's name that's written on here looks a whole lot like someone I know. The exact same, actually. Ah, you already saw that? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm going to be getting married to your fiancé. I was proposed to by him. Huh? He did it just as I was starting to think about stealing him from you. I can't believe he'd contact me asking for my hand in marriage the moment I started to think that I'd go after him. Perfect timing. Hold on a minute, Alyssa. Did you think you'd be able to get another one of my partners again? I did. After all, it's really fun to do. I just love looking at your reaction the moment you hear about me taking one of your most valuable things, and that being the men you like. You always turn red like a lobster and begin to sob and scream. It's all so hilarious. Watching you go ballistic and lose your mind is one of my favorite pastimes, Paige. What kind of messed up hobby is that? I know that you've always had a great time in the past taking my clothes and toys from me just to laugh at me crying. But you taking men from me gives you that same kind of joy? This has seriously all been on purpose, then? It sure has. I loved taking things like your dolls from you and coloring all over them with markers to make you scream, and take your clothing from you only to return them all covered in mud and crap. It's so much fun watching you go off like an insane person when you watch me ruin all your most important things. So that's your reason for taking Kurt from me back in the day? And now I have your fiancé. And by the way, he is such an outgoing man. I haven't even met him in person, yet he's already started by asking me to marry him over the phone, and in such a loving and romantic way, too. Which is hard to say, given he did say it over text, but he still made it seem so beautiful. Wait, you haven't even met him in person yet? He told me that you were trying so hard to keep the thought of me out of his head in any way possible. But when he went to Mom and Dad's house with you, he saw a few pictures of me there. And so that's what got him to immediately start falling for me, and he spent day after day working with all his power to find my phone number. Are you kidding me? And so, with all that being said, I am once again going to be stealing another important partner of yours. And not only will I be stealing him from you, but I've already been proposed to him, and I will be getting married before even you two could have your wedding. My groom is going to be your fiancé. I'll make sure to have a seat made up for you at the wedding where you can watch the two of us get married with the best view possible. I got married 2 years ago, though. Huh? So I'm telling you right now that my man cannot marry you. It's not allowed in our state to marry two different people, so I don't think you'll be able to get away with it. Actually, he's sitting right next to me right now and is telling me he's never met you or talked to you. He's a bit freaked out right now. He keeps asking why he's going to have to marry you while pacing around the room. Wait a sec. You said you two got married 2 years ago? What are you talking about? There's a rumor going around about you getting married soon, right? And you only just had the family meet with him a few weeks ago, right? I'm not sure who you're hearing all these rumors from, but those are all just rumors. If you'd like to hear the real news, the next one getting married will be my husband's little brother. We did happen to have a family meeting with him a few weeks ago, but I was only with him and his family because I'm his older brother's wife. Are you kidding me? So in other words, you had the wrong idea all along. You took that rumor for fact and jumped to conclusions way too quickly. So, you really did get married 2 years ago? But I happened to get a text from him directly. It had to have been from your fiancé, Robert, right? He told me that he realized just how beautiful I am and that he wants to marry me. He then told me that he'd break things off with you before your wedding and come for me. If you can't believe me, then I'll send you his messages as proof. Are you sure you weren't just confused about all of that as well? What? Just like with the rumor, you might have started to make things up in your head and made yourself think that the man you're talking to is my Robert. I mean, people can say they are whoever they want to be, right? So that guy might have just changed his name to match my husband's in some way to get you to go after him. They would never do that to me, right? I mean, you haven't even met them in person, right? So you seriously can't start thinking that they're my husband until you've at least met them in person, okay? Wait. What are you going on about? I'm really scared now. If he's not really your fiancé, then who the hell is he? You think I'd know who he is? How about you text him and ask? This is the worst. Just as I was starting to think it was some idiot, it turned out to be Kurt. He lied about being your man just so he could get me to say yes about marrying him. So it turns out it was Kurt that lied to you about who he was? I have no idea what's going on here now. What the hell does he want with me? I was already in the works of handing in my marriage forms and everything to Robert, and he's going to tell me that he'd been lying about being Robert? I was feeling so good, thinking that I'd once again been able to take another one of your men. But because of that idiot, I've lost all that happiness. Hold on now, what do you mean you've sent in those marriage papers? He asked me to do that for him. He told me that in order to get married to him as soon as possible to send in the marriage papers. That's why I got in my car and went over to the city office as quickly as I could to sign the papers and hand them in. It cost me my money to do all of that as well. I'm pissed now knowing that all of that work to get those papers filled out was a waste. My God. So this is it for you then, huh? Huh? What do you mean this is it for me? I'd say you're better off calling the city office and asking them about what you'd just done. I think you might have just filled out the forms to marry Kurt instead of Robert. Huh? Why? What are you talking about? Stop talking to me and go call the office and ask them. You'll learn a lot more from them. I heard about it all from Alyssa. You lied to her and got her to marry you?
And because of what you recommended to me, I'll finally be able to get my parents' company. Thanks for that one, Paige.
What?
You told me before to just remarry your little sister, right? Well, I took that into consideration and followed through. I thought that if even you were telling me you didn't want to marry me, then my only choice would be getting back with Elisa again. But ever since her and I got divorced, she's been ignoring all my texts and everything. So I went ahead and created a new number and labeled myself as your fiancé, and that's how I got her to bite.
So you did all that to get her to sign the marriage forms? I feel like that right there is like what she did to you in the first place that pissed you off. Lying to you about her baby, and now you've lied to her about your identity.
Who cares? I was able to trick her into signing the paperwork, and now my parents are pleased with me. I'll be able to get that company from them and be the next CEO.
But you do understand how Alyssa must feel now.
Huh? She did the same thing to me, so who actually cares?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, while you and her have fun with yet another mess, let me just tell you that I've been married now for 2 years.
What? Is that right?
So with that, can we just agree to focus on ourselves now and not get involved with one another anymore? Paige, what should I do? I'm married to Kurt again. They've already completed all the processing for the marriage, and I can't have them revoke it now. Well, you did happen to sign it yourself in person there, so I don't think they'd revoke it without a really good reason from you anyway. And what makes all this worse is Kurt is being a real dick right now. He's not apologizing to me whatsoever for lying about him not being Robert. All he keeps telling me now is to shut up and come to his place. I am not going to go to his parents' house and live with all of them again. But now you'll be able to be the wife of a soon-to-be CEO, right? You'll live the life of a rich person, so what's so bad about that? What about their life means I'll live like a rich person? They're telling me they'll only give me a little bit of money each month. And Kurt's told me that once his parents are too old to care for themselves, I will have to step in and care for the both of them. I do not want to live the life as some old people's caretaker. Oh my, I guess Kurt is going to be pretty strict about things this time. He told me back when he wanted me to get back together with him after we married, I wouldn't have to do a thing besides sit back and relax. I think he's still upset with me after I lied to him about being pregnant. So he told me that the only reason he married me is to get the company from his parents and that there's no love in it. I really messed up thinking that he loved me as much as he did back then. Because now he's going to ruin my life by being so cruel to me. Oh my, oh my. Please, Paige, can you come and help me? I really want to divorce him now and get away from this hellhole. You think I'm going to listen to your cries for help? You and I have been far from one another for a long time now, and I still haven't said that I'm done having cut ties with you. I'll apologize for everything I did to you before. I'm so sorry for being a jerk to you all your life. Just think about it as me being really jealous of you this whole time, okay? I mean, you had lots of friends, you studied for all your classes, and you could play all kinds of sports. I think I was just wanting to be so much more like you that I started to bully you in some ways. But I will never do anything like those things to you again, so forgive me, please. No frickin' way. What? After hearing what you just said to me, I'm actually starting to hate you even more. I have taken such good care of all my friends, and I made sure to actually put time into both sports and school so that I'd be a really successful woman. But in your case, you never bothered to fix that selfish attitude of yours, and always told Mom and Dad that studying and sports were stupid and that you didn't want to try. So you're going to tell me now that you were jealous of all that stuff, even though you said it was all stupid before? I'm not going to forgive a single thing that you've done to me. I'm sorry about that. But this time I've really learned that what I did was not all right. Have fun living in the hell you've asked for. Since I'm upholding my end of me cutting ties to you, I'm not going to be celebrating this wedding. So, have a great life. Kurt went ahead and took Alyssa with him back to his parents' house. But when he brought her home with him, his parents said that they didn't want him to be getting remarried to the woman he'd just divorced and were furious with him. His dad even went ahead and told him that all of the company's customers knew about how Kurt and Alyssa's relationship went last time and that it's put a strain on the company's image. And then proceeded to tell Kurt that he would not allow such a waste to be the next CEO of his company. So right then and there, Kurt's parents kicked him and Alyssa out of their house for good. Kurt began to freak out, saying that they didn't follow the promise they made to him while standing in their front yard. He even went to the company and started to make a big deal about his dad's choice. And all the employees that walked into work that day told him they'd never work for a man that thought it was okay to cheat on his girlfriend with her little sister and then marry said sister. They even began to ask if he'd be able to pay them all when the time came that the company began to fail if he became their CEO. So many of the employees began digging into Kurt that he ran away from the place bawling his eyes out. Unfortunately for Alyssa, she can't find a way to run away from Kurt. And so as of right now, they're both having to work part-time jobs in the city and live in a small and old apartment where they barely make enough to afford it. But with this marriage, they won't even speak a word to one another, and I'd have to say it seems like the most quiet marriage in the world at the moment.